So, okay, let me do the intro because I feel like we have a lot of chaos. What are you doing? And I am having a moment. Getting centered? Is that what
I'm
you're
trying.
doing?
I'm trying.
Okay. I feel that. Deflate. Okay. Ooh. What's happening there?
I'm sorry. It's just
it fits.
That's
pure
what's
chaos.
going on.
Pure chaos.
That was my dog outside the door. Like
What? I thought that was your husband.
No. Oh, if only my husband would make a noise because he missed me that much. No.
Welcome to where are we? Code Green Play. I can't even speak. Welcome to Code Green. What the hell is happening? Okay. Get him out. Okay. So let me try that again, a little bit more calm.
Okay.
Welcome to Code Green Play. All right, we're gonna get through this.
Community violation. Code Green Plant.
Hi, and welcome to Code Green Plant. I'm your host, Christi Chanelle, and I'm here with Phoebe James.
Hello, Christy.
Hello. I feel like this is going to be all over the place and chaotic.
I'm so sorry.
Just even before we even started recording. I had a choking attack. Her dog
is my world.
Really wanting to see her right now and might make a guest appearance throughout the show.
He might, yeah. My dog or my kid, one of the two.
Mm-hmm. So what's happening today? Like, I know I had to delay a little bit. You had to delay a little bit. And so
what happened with your delay? Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay. Well,
nothing.
It was totally fine with me, and it actually is your delay is the reason for my delay. If that makes sense.
It's a snowball effect.
It is. It is. So I've had a chaotic. My day started off so calm. It was such a nice Saturday morning. I got up and I cleaned the house real good. You know how I am with my cleaning, so I got the house very clean, like light a candle clean. Mm-hmm. I took a shower. My washer's been broke. Have I told you that? Okay.
Well, I saw that you had clothes in your trunk, so that started the conversation when we were at work the other day.
I rode around with them all week because I'm like, hey, maybe I'll stop over there at some point. Just take them with me. So the washer's been broke. I looked on, an app for a repairman. We had a repairman come out the week before last, like right before Thanksgiving holiday, and I thought I'd hear back from him because he said like, oh, I got to do some research and I'm gonna have to order some parts and I'll get back with you. So I waited all week, didn't hear anything, and then Thursday I reached out like, hey, what's going on? Girl, I haven't heard back. So obviously they can't fix my washer.
You'd think they would have told you that.
I wish they would have told me so I could have moved on to the next repairman, or like, is it beyond repair even though it's not even that old? Do I just need to get a new one? I was trying to, do the whole like reuse, recycle. Like I'm trying to not be wasteful and just toss it out without trying to get it fixed.
So anyways, what's the plan? So what are you going to do?
Find another repairman this week. And my plan was to just go and drop a load off at my sister's, go run some errands, then get back home to be ready for the podcast. But since you texted me and said, hey, I'll be a little late, I'm like, okay, I could get 2 loads done. This is where all the trouble comes in. It took longer than it said because, it'll give you a timer. And when I left, it said it was going to be 34 minutes. And I was gone a good 50 minutes, 55 probably. So I thought it would be good and done. Mm-hmm. And I walked in and it was like 5 minutes left. So I'm like, but okay, like that's fine. So I throw the next load in and it said it would take 35 minutes. And I'm like, I got plenty of time to get home by 2:45. I'll start this load. Plenty of time. Like you texted me and I was standing over the washer right then trying to figure out what's going on when you texted me and said you're ready. And so it just kept on like spilling water out on my clothes and it wouldn't spin. And it just kept staying back and it just went on and on. And so I tried to like force it to drain and spin. And it drained and it started to spin and then it stopped spinning and said balancing and then it started filling the bucket again. So I finally just threw it all in my, like, I'm like, okay, I'm giving up because it's pretty much done. I was just waiting on the last, that last thing. Mm-hmm. So I threw sopping wet clothes into my basket and just screw it. I'm going to go home. So I could barely carry the basket, but I'm like, I got to hurry up and get there. The podcast.
Well, I was like, all right, well, I guess the delay was good, but maybe it was bad. But so I mean, you got some stuff done.
Yeah, I got stuff done. I had to drag it to my car, got it in, and then I realized I left my phone in my sister's house, but I'd already locked the door.
Oh
and she has like a push pin to get in, a pin.
Yeah, a pad.
The pin number's saved in my phone, so my phone
my
was left
God,
inside. So I finally just like, screw it, I left again without my phone, so now I got to go back and get my phone.
Luckily, you have 2 phones.
Yeah. And
or you would have never gotten on this podcast.
I would have not got here.
I know.
But I was driving like, trying to get here. I was driving like a maniac. Christy, I'm so sorry. I was trying
No worries. I wish my voice would work here, but I apologize for the if you guys keep hearing me do that. But I actually know that if I'm running close to the time that we need to podcast, that I need to add at least 15 to 20 minutes to that, because I have to say hi to my dad.
Oh, yeah.
I get there and it's like, he wants to talk and he wants to visit, and I get that, and I totally get, and I do too. But I'm like, I gotta go, Dad. Like, so I have to make some time initially for him. So that's pretty much what I did. I knew I was running kind of behind.
So that's good.
That impacted it. Yeah, it did. And so,
Dad.
Yeah. And I was told, Christmas is coming. So, we had our Christmas conversation topic, what do you want for Christmas? And
okay.
So, my dryer broke a couple of weeks back. It was about a month ago.
Yeah.
My dryer completely broke. And I was right after I got back from Colorado. No, it was right before I left that night. I was leaving for Colorado. I had my last load that I was going to pack into my bags. My dryer's going, and all of a sudden it stops. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to put the clothes in my dad's house and dry them there. But I was stressed about it the entire trip. And my oldest son, he's got this knack for handy dandy fixing stuff. And he's like, let me take a look at it. And I'm brushing it off. I'm like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I don't. He's my kid, so I'm not going to think all of a sudden he's going to be able to fix my dryer when he's never fixed a dryer before. He looks at it. He's like, Mom, that there's this little like thing that's at the door, and it's kind of like I don't know if it's like an open or close or something like that. I don't know crap about this, but anyway, he pulls it off and he goes, I think it's burnt out. I'm still like, yeah. He's like, order the part. I'm like, how much is the part? He's like, it's $7. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. I'll order $7. If it doesn't work, whatever. It's $7. Not a big deal. I order the part. Austin comes over. He changes the part, and the freaking thing works. I'm like,
that's awesome.
What?
That's
$7.
$7.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
I was so impressed with him that he actually did that. I was like, can I buy you dinner? I mean, let me just like do something for you.
Because that can be pricey. But Tucson, he tried to fix ours and he couldn't get it fixed. So you got lucky that he was able to.
I did. And I take for granted, like, I'm not going to second guess him anymore. I'm going to say, all right, go for it.
Yeah.
Because what's the loss there? There's no loss. That's what's going on there. So we properly named this Christmas Chaos for a reason. We are entering our December weeks. We're in the beginning of December. And the chaos is I think it's just an energy that happens automatically once December 1st happens. You know how I told you that I quit smoking?
Yeah. How's that going?
Not good. Not good. I'm going to mention it here on the podcast because I still want to hold myself accountable. And I want to show you the struggle is real. I feel like my mind can overpower anything, and it can, until I hit Friday. Fridays are tough for me. It's like I have this routine, I go home, I do certain things, and Friday's like my relaxed day, and I don't know.
Yep.
There's something about it. So at like 9:00, Trevor comes in the room, and I'm like, first of all, I bought this thing of peanuts, and I'm like a freaking squirrel. I mean, constantly eating these peanuts, especially the Cowboy game that happened on Thursday. I was just like,
it's like a nervous thing now.
Oh my God. I was eating peanuts like they were going out of style, and I don't even love peanuts. And Trevor's like, so you like peanuts now? And I'm like, I guess I have to buy a freaking jar of peanuts for every Cowboy game if I'm going to get through this. So he came into the room, and I'm just like, I'm looking at the peanut jar. Like, I cannot have another peanut. I'm going to vomit if I have another freaking peanut.
Do you like them shelled, or do you like to take the shell off, or do you eat them either way?
It was a jar that actually Vonda gave me, and it had like all different types of peanuts in it, like walnuts and everything mixed together.
Oh, so it was like a nut mix, like.
Oh, nut mix, yeah. And
those are delicious.
Yeah, they are good. They are good, except I don't really like the brown hard ones. Do you know what I'm talking about? I hate
almonds,
those.
maybe? Is it
Yeah,
almonds?
I don't like almonds. I mean, I
Okay.
like them, but I don't enjoy them.
Okay.
I like the walnuts though. So I'm staring at this jar of peanuts. I'm like, I don't really want to have another peanut. And Trevor's like, well, I want to go get Takis from 7-Eleven.
What
And
is
I'm
it
like,
with boys and Takis?
he's obsessed.
My son's the same.
Yeah.
Takis, that's all he wants.
I'm like, your stomach's going to burn out. You're going to have a hole in your freaking stomach. You know what I mean? And so he's like, I want Takis. He's gaming. So he's like, I want Takis. Can you take me to 7-Eleven and get Takis? And I'm like, if I take you to 7-Eleven, I'm getting cigarettes. And he's like, oh, well. So then I start bargaining with my kid. And he's like, I see what you're doing. I'm like, no, I'm just telling you the facts. And he's like, I see what you're doing. And he's like, this is bad. You shouldn't do this. I'm like, well, you can't have Takis then.
Like, well.
And he's like, okay. I was like, okay, so we'll do this. I am not going to smoke Monday through Thursday at all, ever. Okay. I will take that out of my smoking days. Then that will eliminate those days of the week. And then I'll be down to 3 days a week. And I'm not allowed to buy more than 2 packs in a week, ever. And he's like, okay. He's like, but you only smoke when you really feel like you need to and not just out of habit. And I'm like, deal. So we leave, we go to 7-Eleven. I buy 2 packs of cigarettes. I put them down and I'm like, he's like, you're going to feel like shit. And he didn't say shit, but it's like, you're going to feel bad, right? You're going to hate yourself for this. I'm like, probably, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I go home, I have a cigarette and I'm like, I don't hate myself. I don't hate myself, but I'm now conscious of everything and every time I do it. So I ended up having 2 cigarettes, which is really good for where I was. And then today I've had 2 cigarettes.
Okay.
So that's not bad. And
No.
I feel like that's the start of completely quitting because I don't want to do vaping because I feel like that's bad for your lungs too. And so, yeah. So here I am admitting my defeat, but still
not total defeat. You have a plan. Not total.
I do have a plan.
Yes.
And I'll beat it because I only do it when I need to. So I see how it ends up.
Because you have some willpower the way you can do it like you don't do it at work. So that in itself shows you have willpower there. So I think you can do it.
Another thing is I don't really want to smell like smoke coming in. I don't like that.
It smells so bad.
It's got this connotation.
Again, and it's so gross to me now.
So he's a smoker too. So you get it.
Yeah.
You understand.
My mom was a smoker, so growing up, but she quit. And so my stepdad was a smoker. He passed away from lung cancer. So, I mean, like not from it. I shouldn't say that because it wasn't from it. He had it right. It was in the mix of everything going on. Okay. So how did your mom do it? She just quit. Honestly, it was crazy. Cold turkey. And she had did it a couple times. Like when Freddie got sick, they both stopped right when he got sick. And he started again, and she actually had kept not for a while. So she had did it before where she went, I don't know, she just stopped cold turkey, and she did again at some point when she lived with us and after he passed away, and she still hasn't. She stopped for good.
I know how hard that is. I mean, your mom has overcome a lot of obstacles in her life, but from our other conversations, I know that she's a freaking trooper, man.
Yeah, she is.
She's got a strong
She's
mind.
A nutcase. She's an absolute nut, and she'd tell you that, but she's a good person.
Yeah.
And she has overcome a lot. So, yeah.
I just think it's impressive, and so I'm going to look at people differently now that I know they've once smoked, and be like, you're amazing.
Well,
you're
Tucson,
amazing.
Tucson will stop sometimes, but then he starts again. So
how long does he stop for? What's the longest he's gone?
Probably years. He's probably gone a year or 2, and he'll start again for some weird reason. But he'll go months, so he'll go weeks. He can go months, it's a cycle,
years.
He can, wow. And right now he's doing it again. Though he's smoking again, so. And then he'll start again where I don't even notice because he does it so seldom. But then it just snowballs until I notice, and and yesterday I was noticing oh my God, he even stinks again,
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm very sensitive to it because my mom always smoked, so I'm very sensitive to the smell of it. And it used to gross me out, when she'd roll the car window up on me, back then. They didn't, now I think they have laws against that, but back then it was
do they
have the windows rolled up smoking with your kids in the car?
Well,
yeah, I think they have laws against smoking with kids in the car.
I know that I stopped doing that years and years ago.
Uh-huh.
I was a kid that grew up with two parents that smoked, and I was one of those kids in the car, and I guess it was just my life, so I didn't really notice it. And everybody did it back then because I'm
Okay.
old. But I do know that at some point something like switched in me, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I don't want to do that. And then I stopped, and I was able to just cut it off. And then I got a new car, and then it was like I wasn't even smoking by myself in the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
So it was in phases. I did not know it was illegal though, so good for me. I've been
So
in
listen, it
jail.
is. It's not in every state though. In Texas, it's not illegal, but it is in illegal to smoke cigarettes with a child in the car. Are Arkansas for kids you got under age 14, California under age 18, Illinois, Louisiana. Oh, Illinois is under age 18, Louisiana kids under 13, Maine kids under 16. Oregon 18, Utah 16, Vermont 9, and Virginia kids under the age of 8. So in California, Illinois, Oregon, it is illegal to smoke with a kid under 18. So if you're not of legal smoking age in those states, you can't even be in the car with it.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not mad about it though.
I'm not either. No, not at all. You get selfish because you don't realize how it impacts other people until you do. And
Yeah,
that's what my changes came from.
Yeah, and I
My
almost feel like
kids.
it's archaic to do it now. Like to me, it feels so old school or like archaic. Like old school, like back in the days when you didn't wear seatbelts either. But like everyone knows you wear a seatbelt now. Like, it's just one of those.
Well, I also feel like
it
comes with a little, for me, I can only speak for myself, a little shame that I do it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to be in a public place smoking because I don't want people to look at me,
Where
in
can
a
you
negative
even
light.
do it in a public place now?
I don't know because I don't do it in public, but I don't. Can you do it in front of a restaurant? I mean, probably, right?
Probably
in front of a
depends.
bar. They do it in casinos. They're still allowing that in Oklahoma. There's a whole smoking area, and then I think they have a side that's non-smoking. I think you would lose a lot of gamblers.
Yeah, in the casinos you would for sure.
In bars, I'm surprised they were able to do it in a lot of bars because
I was going to
they
say
go together.
Isn't that where it's you have to be a bar and sell a certain percent of alcohol for people to be able to smoke?
I don't know.
As of July 2018, 29 states enacted statewide bans on smoking in all enclosed workplaces, including all bars and restaurants. Those states are Texas is not included, of course. We're such the Lone Star,
We do what we want over here.
We do. Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware. I was about to sing the song. Hawaii, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Nebraska, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Utah, Vermont, Washington, Wisconsin. 10 other states have enacted statewide smoking bans, but have carved out an exception for certain establishments and workplaces. Those states are Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Louisiana, Nevada, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Tennessee. That's a lot of states that have smoking bans of some sort.
Yeah, because they realize it's not good for anybody that's around it. And, I absolutely respect that. That's why I don't smoke in public, because I don't want to contribute to anybody's harm. Myself, apparently. Yeah. So, I mean, I want you to hold me accountable publicly.
Okay.
And I want to do the check-ins because I'm sure there's somebody out there that is fighting this as well, or they're thinking about it. They're thinking about quitting and they can't. And so maybe they can watch my journey because I will overcome it. I will beat it. It's just, I'm going to have to do it on my own pace. And, and I also know just because like with your husband, you could say to him, quit, I need you to quit. And it's not going to matter because it has to come from the person, So
yeah.
If I can inspire somebody, even with my mistakes, I'll be honest. I will. I hope to. I don't know. It's an inner battle, Phoebe. It's chaos. Just like this Christmas episode.
Chaos.
It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. I mean, I was a little spinning out of control the other day.
Well, I don't know. Some days we're going to both just spin out of control together. Probably we're going to egg each other on some days because I'm the same.
Yes, and I want to get into your spinning out of control in the next week's episode.
What's spinning out of control?
Hold on, I didn't mean that. No. I go back to this conversation we had in your office the other day. I walk in and I'm like, okay, I got to tell you what's happening. And is it cigarettes or am I having a real moment? And you're like, no, you're having a real moment. And then you said, for me.
Oh, yeah. Is it cigarettes? Or for me, I think it might be perimenopause.
There you go. You're like, is it perimenopause or is this a real moment? So we're both kind of like, are these valid? Are we valid for feeling
right?
Like, you know?
Yeah.
We'll get into yours for next week's episode, though. So we'll talk about Phoebe spinning out of control. For now, it's just really.
Yeah, yours is cigarettes. We know why. We know the root cause is cigarettes. It's smoking. But it got me thinking about where can you smoke marijuana in the states that it's legal? Like, can you just go outside and smoke it? Because like when I'm in those states and I still feel like I'm going to be in trouble. And I'm like, I don't know the laws. And like, they really should give you better handouts so you understand what the laws are about smoking marijuana in legalized states.
And public places.
In public. Yeah. Like, did you partake when you went to Colorado to where you had to think about like where you could do it at?
No, I took an edible so I could do it anywhere.
Oh shit!
Very in secret. See, that's I like it like that. I like it like that.
True.
And I didn't see anybody just right in public smoking a joint. In Colorado, you'd think I would have. I guess I wasn't in the right areas. Maybe I don't know. Is it?
I don't know where people would do it outside. In some states, it is.
What about Colorado?
Recreational and medical use is legal in Colorado.
Okay, so you could do it publicly.
You could do it publicly. Yep.
Okay.
In Colorado, and actually a lot of states. I'm not going to name them like I did with the cigarettes because then it just turned into like 10 minutes of states. But it is in Colorado, New Mexico, California, Nevada, the ones like around us. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I knew California.
And then it is in a lot of other states, just medical. Medical is legal. In Oklahoma, it is legal to smoke in public outdoors, in Oklahoma. Unless, like,
that's a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, I'm sure if the establishment says, like, I'm sure that, like, a restaurant itself can ban you, but, like, just, I guess, standing outside your house or something, walking down the street, it's not illegal.
Mm-hmm. So you haven't yet smoked in a public place?
Yes, I have.
Outside.
Well, wait. What do you mean by public? I was going to say.
I mean, like outside, like walking down on the sidewalk.
Yes. Well, yeah, sitting like on a bench or something. Like.
Okay, so you've experienced what it's like to have that kind of freedom.
Yeah, in Colorado, I did. Uh-huh.
Okay, I haven't experienced that freedom.
Yeah, so it was weird. I will say that, and I still felt like I like I was doing something wrong though, even though it is legal and. So one of the times when I was staying at a hotel and I just asked the guy at the desk, like, hey, I'm just going to be on it. Like, where do people smoke marijuana? And he was just like, oh yeah, you can just go out. And he told me where to go. And it was so bizarre, but he's like, yeah, he even walked me around there. Like, here's where you can go do it. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And so later on that night, I went and did it there. And, it just felt so weird. And like the security guard walked up at some point and it made me like, oh God, a security guard. And he said to me, ma'am, if you want to come over there and sit by my truck, you can. You'll probably, feel safer by me because it was dark out. To where he was just saying like I could come and sit by his truck and do it. Like, okay, it was weird, but it still felt like I was doing something wrong. And if people, like if someone got out of their car and was walking into the hotel or like walking by me when I was doing it, I kind of like put it down and like try to hide it. It's just stigma.
People have a stigma with going into any kind of dispensary, any kind of a CBD shop here in Texas. It's like people are afraid they're going to be looked at as an addict of some kind or something bad. So they're scared to go into a dispensary.
Yeah. Or like, what if I see someone I know, see someone I work with?
Yes. Yeah. It was hard for me just actually being public about any of this stuff. It really made me nervous, Phoebe. It really made me nervous. And I had to kind of come to terms with it, with myself saying, I don't care. You can think anything of me, but people that know me know I'm not that. And I'm okay with that kind of thing. But we've talked to people and, they wouldn't even go to the CBD dispensary, just to get CBD right here or, hemp derived. And I think that's sad. And I say that, not in a judgment way, but that you're listening to this and maybe it's you. Maybe you can't go into a CBD dispensary and I'm here to tell you it's okay. It's okay. You know, if you need something that's going to help you in some way, do it. They're not thinking of the medicinal side of that. And if you have stress and you have anxiety, don't let yourself being afraid people are going to judge you stop you from going to get something that can actually help you. So I wanted to definitely put that out there. Okay, so we're going to end this episode on smoking chaos, and then next week you're going to hear our Christmas chaos. But for right now, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Go check us out on simplyvibin.com, and make sure you listen to next week's episode because it's going to be really, really good. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.
This episode of Code Green Plant was sponsored by Simply Vibin LLC. Code Green Plant is a Simply Vibin production hosted by Christi Chanelle along with her co-host Phoebe James. This podcast is not intended to be used for medical advice and is solely the opinion of the host. Please consult your physician. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Want more? Visit www.simplyvibin.com. And a special thank you to the core group of people who helped with the creation of the Code Green Plant podcast. We appreciate you simply vibing with us.
Code Green Plant. Shh.